to comment on it. All the pressure, all the people, all of these sheep in business and in politics worldwide ganged up against Trump, and he bucked them all. Wow, I applaud that. That was something. It looked like he was wavering, but he held and stuck to his guns. I'm so happy I had to share that with you. Look, climate change, as I have explained, is a bogus issue. If you want to see the facts, I've interviewed Craig Itzo, Dr. Craig Itzo. He knows the facts and he explains them one fact after another to dismantle this myth of global warming, which is what they used to call it. But now they call it climate change because it's an imprecise term which doesn't really mean anything specific. Now, the basic facts are unknown by the public. All of these climate change advocates, when you ask them how much CO2 is in the earth, they don't know. What are the major greenhouse gases? They don't know. Has the Antarctic sea ice reduced or increased? Which in fact it has increased. Antarctica sea ice has increased. They don't know. What are the factors that affect the temperature in the earth? They don't know. They don't know that the major factor is sunspots, the wobble of the earth, all sorts of other things. They don't know that the predictions that have been made, the projections, because all of this is climate projections, because in fact there really hasn't been any real evidence of more than normal increase in climate change, or in climate temperature. Now, the facts that they do say they know, they state mistakenly. For example, Juan Williams today, he says that this year was the warmest year in the history of the earth. That's absolutely false. Anybody who knows, like Craig Itzo, the history of the world, knows that there's been many periods where it's been hotter than now. All of these things that Al Gore predicted didn't come through. The models have been disproven. There's just a lot of projection about what would happen in the future. If CO2 doubled within a century, you could increase maybe 1% or 0.5% Celsius and spend $300 trillion for nothing. In fact, where are we now in the history of world temperature? We are in an interglacial period, coming very close to a glacial period. In other words, the probability is that it's going to start to get much colder. So instead of reducing CO2 gases, we'll have to increase them. All the things that they use to make this bogus theory and scare the people are nonsense. Now, Trump bucked it not on the basis of the science, which is what I'm talking about, but on the basis of, wow, what a horrible deal. It doesn't do anything for the major creators of CO2. And by the way, CO2 is not a pollutant. You can live very well with CO2. This equivocation of equalizing CO2 to pollution is nonsense. Pollution are carbon particles in the air that if you breathe, get into your lungs and make trouble for you. Carbon dioxide does not harm your health. We've been living with it forever since human beings existed. So I just wanted to share with you my admiration and happiness that Trump bucked all this. How is it possible that so many people are so sheepish? They are like sheep. They don't know the facts. Even the conservatives, supposedly on his side, they're all pussyfooting around, not really explaining or knowing anything about this issue. It is absolutely ridiculous. And if we took that treaty seriously and implemented it, it would harm the U.S. economy in increased folds every year. Plus what Trump said, We cannot cede our sovereignty to these world organizations that have a lot of special interests and don't care anything really about the issue that they're projecting. So I got to get back to the NBA finals. So this is the halftime report, and this is all the time I have. So I hope you enjoy it and tell me what you think.